let's check out Alice and her sidekick, the Jabberwock. Alice comes with a token, a big and small token. We'll see that come into play here with her card. Alice is melee with 13 health. The Jabberwock is melee with 8 health. They both have a move value of 2. When you place Alice, choose whether she starts the game big or small. When Alice is big, add +2 to the value of her attack cards. When Alice is small, add +1 to the value of her defense cards. Start off with the Alice cards. Her attack of 3, the other side of the mushroom, a boost of 4. After combat, move Alice up to 3 spaces and change size. Fabulous Day. After combat, change size. It's a 4 with a 4 boost as well. Snicker Snack, 4 boost as well. Attack of 3. If you won the combat, look at your opponent's hand and choose one card for them to discard. In each of those, there's only 1 copy in her deck for each of those. Next, we have a vital card here. It's a 2 defense, not that great, but the effect is good. Looking Glass, it's a 4. After combat, choose 2 different effects. Draw 2 cards. Alice recovers 3 health. Place Alice in any other space. 2 copies of that. I'm late. Versatile of 2. Move Alice up to 5 spaces, change size, 3 copies of that. Mad as a Hatter, 3. Move each of your fighters up to 2 spaces, change size. Maxim Foe. Discard the top card of your deck, add its boost value to this card's value. It's a 3, and it's any. It's our first any card there. And then we have Drink Me and Eat Me, which are Alice schemes. Drink Me is draw 2 cards, change size, 2 copies of that. Eat Me is move Alice up to 3 spaces, change size, 2 copies of that. Then we have our basic regroup, draw a card. If you won the combat, draw 2 cards instead. Feint, cancel effects on your opponent's card. Skirmish, if you won the combat, choose one of the fighters in combat, move them up to 2 spaces. Momentous Shift, if your fighter started this turn in a different space, this card's value is 5 instead. And then we get into the 2 Jabberwock cards. Deal 2 damage to any one fighter adjacent to the Jabberwock. It's a 4. There's 2 copies of that. Claws That Catch is a 3. If the opposing fighter is a hero, this card's value is 5 instead, and 2 copies of that. So Alice typically wants to stay in the fight. Her ability is such that she doesn't get to determine when she changes, but you do have a say in it with some of your cards. For example, move Alice up to 3 spaces and change size. Now they can feint that, which you probably want them to, because this is a 5 and you stay the threat instead of the defense, going on defense. This could be a 6. This could be a 5. You get the idea. If you won the combat, look at your opponent's hand and choose a card for them to discard. This is one of her best cards, if not her best card for attacking, because you get to look at their hand for one, and that's a benefit in and of itself. And the second effect on the card is you just get to choose one of their cards and discard it. This is her scary defense. You have to be careful when you're up against some other players to hold on to this in your hand. For example, when I play against Sherlock, I just use this to boost usually. I'll boost in with a 4 and keep pressure on Sherlock, because if he catches me with this and he says 2, I have to discard it and take 4 damage. That's not good. So I'd rather save my 4 and not recover the 3. And then I'm late. It's another card you just throw out to change size when you want, usually, and to move away. So it'd be good if you want to get to defense. Move each of your fighters up to 2 spaces and change size. That just helps with a little bit of positioning. And then this card is great, especially if you pull literally any of these cards here. Even this card would be great because it turns into a 6. So this discards one of these random. Even if you lose these, it's not detrimental because you're getting a 7 off. If you're big, it's a 9. So you have 2 copies of that, 2 chances to do that. If you're ever too if you ever are in the battle, in the fray, and you need to change size to get back to big and draw 2 and attack, that's what this is for. You could do it to get back on defense if you wanted to, but I find it best if you're adjacent. It's your turn, it's your first action, and you're small. You use this, you draw 2 cards, and then you have more options to attack as big. Move Alice up to 3 spaces, change size. If they're running from you and you're small, you plan this out to where you have this and a big attack card in your hand. And of course, making sure you have defense. That's just basic Unmatched knowledge right there, though. And then, of course, just the basic cards. What's neat about this regroup is it can become a 3 on attack and a 2 on defense. So you'll have more chances to be able to win the combat and draw 2 cards instead of 1. And then, of course, Feint. Skirmish is nice because it can become a 6. Momentous Shift can become a 7. And so that's a scary threat as well. And you'll want to do that. Sometimes you'll want to move in with the Eat Me, which makes you move from your space. Use a Momentous Shift on big. So you flip to big and then use Momentous. It's a good option. And then we have Jaws that bite, deal 2 damage to anyone fighter adjacent to Jabberwock. You have to be careful not to leave Alice adjacent to Jabberwock, or she's going to be taking the damage if they move away with, say, a skirmish, which would block that. And other fighters do have skirmish. And then Claws that catch is nice to threaten against their hero, right? And they feel like they need to kill the Jabberwock. So it takes some damage off of Alice, because she only has 13. And potential 6 more if she gets both of these off. Anyway, you're going to want to stay big most of the time. In most games, you want to stay big. And she's really trying to significantly get over the defense values of the opponent. So if you can do that, you're doing pretty good with Alice. And I hope that helps you understand Alice a little bit better and how to manage her deck and get the best value from her big and small ability.